The skinheads were the latest tribe to emerge from the fertile sartorial breeding ground of working-class British youth. And this latest group fascinated the chattering classes.
In accepting reggae, the skinheads have rejected a middle class with its existential, mystical, hippie-style music, which is unable to cater to the social needs of the skinheads. Through the medium of the reggae, the black youth does this extremely well.
Tony Hatto was one of the first skinheads to walk the streets of London.
We thought the Jamaicans were naturally cool. The way they walked, the way they moved, the way they danced, and relaxed, the way they talked. You know, we wanted a little bit of it.
And the way they got it was through clothes. Tony and his mates were meticulous in their attempts to adapt the rude boy look.
Not the blue. Got a nice lining on that one.
And once they found it, they were willing to pay.
All the money we had actually went on to the fashion and the music. The shoes were like £8 a pair, which was more than a week's wages as an apprentice plumber in the 60s, so yeah. It did cost a lot of money. There's one of me in black and white with my early girlfriend. And there's me with a pair of tonic mohair trousers on. There you go, 2-3 inches off the shoe. I've got a check shirt on, a tailored jacket, hanky in the pocket, and again, you can see the parting in the hair.
The essentials of skinhead style are enduring. Mohair tonic suits, check button-down shirt, rolled-up slim-cut jeans, loafers, brogues, and Doc Marten boots. Through their love of a sharp style, white skins and black rude boys had found common ground. And it wasn't long before this moment of cultural harmony was given a soundtrack all of its own.
We got 3 million miles to reach on the moon. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Skinhead Moonstomp was a defining track of the era.
You know, it was massive in the clubs. It had such a good sound to it, and it was sort of an anthem in a way. You know, it's something people could actually dance together to, get involved in. And to see like 300 plus skinheads all doing this stamping dance, it was very exciting for us.
That's what I say, bro. Now remember, I'm your boss, Skinhead speaking. My name is Caleb. Right.
Moonstomp was a homegrown reggae hit, written and produced exclusively for skinheads.
Or my beat, whatever you want to call it.
It was a special skinhead dance. One drum and one little nods. One little nods, yeah. It was a nice dance.
From the headquarters of his international business empire, Frank Pitter still remembers the glory days. As the drummer in the band Simmerip, he helped put the stomp in moonstomping.
This skinhead moonstomp. We're with the skinhead boys on the front and us on the back, you know. If you can look at the top here, that's me. I think we were the first band to record in something targeting skinheads, something for them, you know, and we did a skinhead moonstomp, you know, and we put our thing into the national charts. This sold over 4 million copies. You know. The music, fashion, they go together. You're doing the music, you haven't got the clothes to go with it, the fashion, the style. You know, it's half job done. It's not the full job. So you got to have the clothes with the music, and then you're fully there.
Yeah. This was a glorious moment in post-war Britain. Two cultures brought together through music and fashion. But it wasn't to last.
Skinheads stick together! Listen, we're all white, okay? So stop fighting and stick together. Don't matter who...
Across the 70s, many skinheads would be corrupted by far-right politics. Out went the moon stump, and in came the bother boot. And these skinheads became like an army, marching on bigotry and violence. But at the tail end of the 70s, the rude boy look would make a return.
This is a check shirt, button down the back, little collar, and was bought for £5 in C&A, I think, when there was one.
Pauline Black was the lead singer of The Selector and at the forefront of the ska revival known as two-tone.
Our whole ethos, I guess, was very dynamic, very anger-fueled. There was a lot to be angry about. People were racist on the street and at shows sometimes, and you'd got the National Front marching on the street. So obviously, if you were a young black woman at that time, or a young black man, there was plenty to be angry about.
For Pauline, her whole style was a frustrated, impassioned plea for a return to the cultural harmony that had been lost across the 70s.
Obviously, black and white check is quite iconic, and what we were trying to portray was that black and white people can be in the same band and really get along together and make music together. Certainly, I feel as though it's one of the more meaningful things in terms of an anti-racist stance. And that was a very, very potent thing for young people to see at that time.
But not everyone in Britain wanted their music and style to hang heavy with politics and protest.
Pride, loyalty and brotherhood. You know, that is what it meant to me. Skinhead culture came as part of an ongoing organic British youth culture. Skinheads really came along towards the end of the 60s, and this is politically was a time when you were starting to get a divide again, because the middle class mods who were wearing the clothing, looking the part, were university educated. And they were getting more into the sort of beatnik and then into the hippie era, because you've got to imagine the Vietnam War was going on at this time. And a lot of the middle class mods in England were started following that. And so they went off. But the working class mods were your hardcore lot who were violent and didn't really care about America. They were British.
You know, we were a result of social conditions at the time. And we're unconscious youth looking for a direction. Perfect demonization fodder. And we were fucking angry as well. And the bottom line being is, you're gonna come down on somebody. They either go on their knees or they fight back.
Like I said, it was an offshoot of the mods, but it was coined, I think, originally by the media. It was mods with shaved heads, and they got in a fight, I think, in Brighton. During the bank holiday Mondays against the rockers, and they were labelled as skinheads in the press. So it's like, oh, that's great, we'll call ourselves that, you know, because there's lots of other variations. There was suede heads, smooths, boot boys, all these different things. They were all different elements of the same thing, but the skinhead name came and vomit stuck. haircut was definitely a reflection of the opposition to hippies, but it was also because of the violence. There was a lot of violence at that time. It was handy because you all looked the same. So if you went to a football match or you're in a big gang fight and there's 300 skinheads, all with Doc Martens on, all with shaved heads, all with the same shirts, you know, you get variation in colour of shirt or colour of jacket, but pretty much this is an army. If there was 200 of you, the police, there was no way of identifying you, so it was handy from that point of view as well. Yeah,
it was intense. It was a savagely intense 10 years, and somehow the Wickham skins seemed to be the ones that represented it, you know, because of the photographs I took. I knew something amazing was going on. I'd look around and go, can't anyone else see this? And there it is in the pictures. It was fucking amazing.
The Union Jack became a very, very important symbol for us. We were English, we were working class, and we were very, very proud of that. And the governments at the time were trying to tell us, no, you're not. We were the abused kids of that time, so we were violent as fuck, because all we knew was violence. You know, we were getting caned by the fucking school teachers, we were getting beaten up by the police, and we were getting double beaten up by our parents, our fathers. You know, my dad was a drunk who'd whack us around with leather straps. And that was normal. I wasn't anything unusual. It was just how it was. Violence was just part of our culture. Loads of the girls were sexually abused. Loads of them. Of course, these kids are gonna react to that. They're gonna be violent. They're gonna take out their anger any way they can. But we were an army, a community, a group of children on council estates that were just completely abused by everybody.
The ones that were abused, the ones that were broken, they found their tribe together, you know, and they could protect each other. And all of that with unconscious understanding of your energy and who you are.
This is Tilbury, a grey, desolate place with an evil stench of violence, where local skinheads roam the docklands like cropped rats. So said the Sun newspaper in a special August bank holiday spread entitled Agro Britain.
There's me there back, mate, there. Jules! What are you doing? Come on, give me his glasses.
Ugly bastard ain't changed, is he?
Fucking saves a lifetime.
Well,
I'll tell you the truth. Tell you the truth.
Bits out of this sentence. Bits out of this sentence.
Absolutely conned into that. They got us pissed.
In the club,
got a picture.
Drinks he was.
We was told
Hey, you got the flag out for us to put behind us all.
We wasn't even allowed to drink.
Union Jack.
They wanted us to be something
that we were.
That we wasn't, and they tried every article, everything they could do to say to people that's what they're like, and it wasn't what we was like.
Our particular lot, the Children Skins, we was like a family. Yeah, we was all
yeah, for
like
sure.
Brothers, sisters, whatever it was. We was all,
whatever happened, we all stuck together,
and that was
it.
for
sure.
If one got hurt, we all got hurt.
The tribal connection, and you couldn't put words to the love you felt for your tribe, for your gang, for your friends, you know. You couldn't understand it. It just got expressed as passion and as love, you know, which could be so, I'll die for my friends, you know. I don't know what's the word for it. It seemed quite a natural state to be in at the time, and I suppose it is for young people to congregate and to look after themselves and to become a part of something bigger than themselves outside the family.
Very violent times, weren't they? All over. And it wasn't just us. It wasn't just us. We didn't used to go out looking for fights. I don't know. Looking for rows.
Only
How many nights we went out without
I mean, football, hooligan football was rife. Everything was fighting in them days. Everything, everywhere you went, there was a fight.
When we was young, I mean, you get like any youngsters nowadays, you know what I mean? Like, or them days or whatever. I mean, youngsters just want to fight each other, don't they, really? To prove who's the top dog or whatever.
Don't get me started, fucking hell. There's a lot of reasons for it, but we had great fun. As a kid, we had fun. All this is on retrospect. But some of that fun caused a lot of damage to your own persona and your own and the people around you. But you would not have been a skinhead for more than a week if it would have been that grim.
I don't really want to talk about racism because it's such a bullshit subject, and it's been so overexposed by the media as like skinheads racist. That's what it means, right? But it did not mean that at all.
No, not at all. We was not racist at all. We had coloured people in our
own
in our
children
environment.
skinheads.
We was
you know?
like, yeah.
My friend Barry here, right? Now, I've known Barry since he was, what, 5 years old? It was bullshit. It was nothing. It was groups of kids fighting other groups of kids. We had loads of black kids in our gang, loads. Barry was one of them, you know, loads of them.
I think I can speak for all of us here. It was never, ever, ever racist.
No,
never.
racist.
Never.
No.
Never black racism. Never.
We got so much grief from everybody. It was a hard job being a skinhead. It wasn't easy. You didn't just put on some clothes and it was all nice. It was a hard job, you know, you got grief from everybody. So to be a skinhead was a big thing.
And because the skinheads were so defined, because they were so decisive about who they were and what they were from the outside, then they're still to this day they're a fascinating cult. Fascinating youth cult.
100% proud of it then, when I was in it.
You don't regret none of what you've done.
No, I don't regret none of it.
That's what happens, isn't
A
it?
couple of things I do, but...
We can't regret it that much because look, we're all still dressed the same. We've still got fucking bald heads.
Yeah, but
We
some
love it.
pussy ain't got kids.
It's our life.
Some pussy ain't got
Yeah,
no hair.
so what? It saves me a fortune. We love it. We're skinheads out of our heart.
Yeah.